We have pocket constitutions also, if you'd like some.
Government.
There's Quincy. We have found him.
Morning, guys. This is how it happens. This is how it happens. Change comes when people can come together. Yeah, come together. This bank was established in 1913. 1913 by a private group of people on Jekyll Island. And now they have control and they're gaining the power. And they're now responsible for the 2008 crisis. Come on, you guys, this is all happening. That's right. The current system is unsustainable. Bubble economy based on nothing.
Get your ass up the curb, bud. What's up, man? Ridiculous, man. Why are they not way more?
Don't get mad at us, man. We're here.
We're here.
What is it? $4? I think it's $5. Damn, $5? Yeah. Thank you. And they're the nicest people too. They're so friendly.
Your money is used to fund the bankers' vacations in Australia.
The secret oaths and the secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. We are not going to put up with the lies of the globalists anymore. We are not going to let this country become communist China. We are not going to see our free speech violated.
Oh, bro, felt those? I was like, what the? My tarp in the back got destroyed.
The international media here and attack anyone that does not believe the official story. And that is why we are here in defense of the First Amendment. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies.
They're starting to demanufacture old bridge.
How do they do that?
Just take it apart.
The cops are right here, sure. Sure, no more rolling over here, sure. No more lies. No more lies. I've got the police here with me, trying to pull me off to the side. We're going to see what happens. Stay on me, dude. Okay, right here, the cops want to talk to me. Here we go. This detective right here. What's your name? Sergeant Hall. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Good, what do you want to talk about real quick? Let's not block the street. I just want to block the street. Police were trying to pull me off there. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. Sergeant Hall with the Dallas Police Department. What are your plans for today? We're just gonna walk right up here to the barricade. You'll walk right up to the barricade. Okay? You're welcome to walk right up to the barricades. However, this is a ticketed event. Okay? So you can't get past the barricades. Okay? Now, you cannot have the bullhorns while you're in this area over here. We did designated an area for you to use the bullhorn, which is back over here at Main and Market here. Can anybody hear us over there, though? Yes, people can hear you over there. Free speech zone? Yes, free zone. It's a free speech zone. Okay? If no one's going to read a free speech zone? Well, you seem real nice. Let me just do this. I'll pull over about 3 minutes and then I'll go back over there. Sound good? Okay, here we go. All right. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies.
the dinner is you. And most of you people don't care. Well, how about this? You gotta care to be informed. You must care to be informed. Because today, with technology, ignorance is now a choice. To be stupid is now a choice. Anyone can learn these Federal Reserve secrets just by going to the NSA search engine, Google. Because if you don't know something, you Google it. So you can now Google, is the Federal Reserve a private bank of cartels? Absolutely. And you'll see that the people that tried to stop this bank from happening were on the Titanic. Yes, there were people that tried to stop this bank from being established in 1912, a year before it was, that were on the Titanic. And in case you didn't know, the Titanic was owned by J.P. Morgan. Yeah, J.P. Morgan owned the Titanic, the same guy that just bought out Chase Banks. And how many of you guys bank with Chase Bank? Exactly. You guys have got to be informed. There is a collapse coming that's designed. There is an economic crash coming, and it's artificially being created. It's artificially being created as a point so that these people can do what they did during the last Great Depression and buy up things on pennies on the dollar. You've got to be informed.
Sounds over there. This is a private. This is permitted view. Area over here, sir. No, the permit area's past the inside there. We have this been searched. And sir, actually, the permit starts right here. But quite frankly, the mayor said we couldn't have enough flyers anywhere in the city.
No, you need to move over.
It's
on the other side? Yeah.
You have to ask out.
You're right here. No. I mean, stay in this lane. Stay in this lane.
We have to demand that Congress not continue to raise the debt ceiling. It's madness to continue to borrow and spend money when you're $17 trillion in debt and inflating a world bubble of currencies that is backed by nothing. And they think they can continue to shuffle the money around. You know, Iceland, the banks fail, they pump money into Iceland. Cyprus, the banks fail, they pump money into Cyprus. Greece, national debt crisis from Greek government overspending. And so they shovel more money into Greece, but they can't continue to shovel money around indefinitely. The day of reckoning is going to come. And the United States government, as the world's single biggest spender, has a responsibility to the people of the United States and the people of the world to stop this madness. We, the people, must demand an end to this overspending. It's insanity.
Yeah.
That's right.
Every day you go down to the supermarket and purchase food. The price is high, not because the world's running out of food. We have the largest producing nation. We are the largest producing nation of food in the world. The reason why every time you go to the supermarket and things are so expensive is because of the devaluation of the American dollar.
The Federal Reserve gives you $16 trillion of the United States American money to international banks. It's called theft. Yes, the greatest theft ever in an international history was a $16 trillion bailout from the Federal Reserve. Bear Stearns, who actually went under $853 billion, and they still went out of business.
Since 1913, like my friend just said, the dollar has 4% of the purchasing power of what it once had. In 1913, you were able to buy 1 ounce of gold for roughly, what was it, like 30 bucks? Today, gold is almost $2,000 an ounce.
That's a big
That's
jump.
because the money in your pocket has been devalued and is almost completely worthless. Fiat currency, America. That's what a Federal Reserve note represents. A Federal Reserve note does not represent 1 ounce of gold or 1 ounce of silver.
What's up, my brother?
It represents a promissory note given to the government from the Federal Reserve Bank cartel.
The Federal Reserve System steals your money through inflation. Inflation is a tax. Inflation is a mechanism by which they can invisibly take your money out of your paycheck and put it into their coffers to spend on their European vacations. The Federal Reserve is in fact an international banking cartel. A banking cartel designed to make money for its members. The members of the banking cartel are monopoly men. They don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to become like them. They want you to be obedient slaves, taking orders from the government, working in their factories, and producing their computers. The time is going to come when you need to sit down and tell them
they're going to pay this money back. And the first rule of holes is that when you're in one, you stop digging. But they are continuing to dig. The Federal Reserve, under Ben Bernanke and now under Janet Yellen moving forward, is going to continue to create money out of thin air to finance the spending addiction of the federal government.
Royal Bank of Scotland, JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase of the United States was given $391 billion. Yes, that's a B for billion. Wells Fargo, amazingly, $159 billion. I guess they didn't pay their taxes the other year. Dexia SA of Belgium was given $159 billion. Yes, that's Belgium. Société Générale of France was given $124 billion.
Who stands to gain? Off the backs of the American people, the international banking cartel known as the IMF and the World Trade Organization. That's right, America. The dollar is not yours. The dollar is the IMF's. They have already given us special drawing rights. Look that up, SDRs. I wish that was just a conspiracy theory, but it's conspiracy reality. You have banks working together to screw you over. You can look up into this documented fact. Again, it is not a theory. It is an actual plan by Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, Chase Manhattan, and the cartel that works together to print more and more money out of thin air, which they loan to the federal government, which you have to pay back on interest, compounded interest. Look that term up as well, America.
Attention people, if you have not heard about the Federal Reserve, you might want to take out $1. Yeah, you, ladies, might want to take out some cash and look on the top where it says Federal Reserve note. Well, the word note means debt. House note, debt. Car note is debt. So the entire system of cash is spent on debt. Now, how do we all expect to live on a sustainable economy if it's a debt-based economy? Peter Schiff said, economies don't come from spending, economies come from producing. So our entire economy is based on spending due to one of these, the 13 banks right here. So if I were you, I would seriously think about taking my money out of the bank, because what the banks do is they do this. They loan out 90% of what you put in there. They call that fractional reserve banking. So now you have more debt being created out as loans, disguised as more debt. So at some point, when the people realize that the currency in itself is manipulating the political system, then they'll know that their vote doesn't count. How can my vote count if the banks are financing both sides? They're financing both sides of politics. And so it's the illusion of choice.
The private banking cartels steal your money through inflation, through your 401k, through the loans that you put through businesses like Wells Fargo.
And it isn't just a few anymore. It isn't just a unique crowd that believes in the conspiracy.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We are free at last!
feel so wrong. I don't belong in a government camp with fake rap and fake actors who still can't act. I see lies, I see truth, not the color of you. I want proof, I want clues, not emotional fools. I might snap looking back at the way that I was, still reacting to my past of a wannabe thug. Didn't care about the facts, didn't love all people. It's hard to love yourself when you know that you're evil. Then I got saved, but I still wouldn't change. I played games with no shame, still remember the rage. Flip the page to today, now I see all my faults. See the damage that was done, and see what I lost. And it depresses me daily, stressing me crazy. So embarrassed I didn't care if my actions shamed me. Why did they divide racial stereotypes to get us all to kill each other tonight?
It's so clear, they divide all the races. They spread the fear, then they say they will save us. They don't care, that's a riddle when you're brought up in the middle. When you're caught up in the middle, I'll be right here in the middle with you.
Life's a trip when you're begging to live. You wanna give 110, they want you to give in. I hate sin, don't pretend that I'm better than men. Done a lot of bad things that I'll never forget. Every day I wear scars, didn't learn from the burns. Didn't think of giving up when it wasn't my turn. Every time I fall down, face first in the ground, I see another false flag and a king uncrowned who got played by their bosses. Stabbed with a lie, left Laredo in the cold so the president dies. Wanna play these spy games but you won't sell your soul. You compartmentalize, only so far you go. But if you won't serve the eye, then they might suicide you. Take away your rights but they don't have the right to. Kill a bunch of people then they tell us a lie. With two sides, only left and right.
It's so clear, they divide all the races. They spread the fear, then they say they will save us. They don't care, that's a riddle when you're brought up in the middle. When you're caught up in the middle, I'll be right here in the middle with you. It's so clear, they divide all the races. They spread the fear, then they say they will save us. They don't care, that's a riddle when you're brought up in the middle. When you're caught up in the middle, I'll be right here in the middle with you.
Yes, a new world. And the new world is a world of tyranny and a world to make hell on earth. And the only way that they want to do this is by first collapsing society. Okay? They believe in order out of chaos, which means that they must first collapse the world economically, spiritually, politically, and socially, morally, so that they can rise a new world. But the plan is to get the people to see that we want a new world because the chaos that they're creating. Again, they call it the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. You first cause a problem, you get people to react, and then you provide the solution to the problem that you have now created.
In the Federal Reserve, and 100 years of economic mismanagement, the world currency. The dollar is the world's reserve currency, but it's in an unsustainable bubble because they're printing more and more dollars out of thin air based on no hard currency of real value. The dollar was based on gold up until the mid-20th century. Now it's based on nothing. It's basically based on people's faith that it's worth something. And so far that faith is held out and people continue to accept the dollar and think that it's worth something.
Learn about currency. Learn about the Federal Reserve notes. The money in your pocket is not worth gold or silver. It's just a piece of paper.
What do they need to do with themselves? The government is not here to protect you. The government has no mandate to protect you. The government enforces the rules of the corporations. Corporations like Wells Fargo live to take your money and make more for them. They do it through the mandrake mechanism of silently taking your money through inflation. They print money using the Federal Reserve Treasury printing presses.
So what's up, Greg?
Okay, so you came out here?
And the Fed 2013 100th anniversary, 1 month before December 23rd, when they sort of slid in the Federal Reserve Act, right? So we're out here giving away, you know, stuff about repeal the Fed, citizens rule books, bumper stickers, you know, and I was just, you know, maybe feeling a little down maybe because, you know, I had to drop off my kids at my parents' house so I could be out here protesting the Federal Reserve. And it's like, why do we have to be out here protesting the Federal Reserve System when every American should know that our money is being stolen through inflation? Our money is being stolen because of the Federal Reserve, private banking cartels, just their greed. They're stealing our money. It's just theft. It's country theft. They did it in Greece. They're doing it in Cyprus. They're doing it in the United States. They're going to do it in Germany. And then, of course, we're going to invade Syria, and we're going to, well, we have invaded Syria, and we're going to invade Iran, all for greed. And it's like, wake up, America, because we need you out here in front of your Federal Reserve building in your city and helping us get the word out to people. And maybe if there's enough people that are out there that are spreading the word about the Federal Reserve, maybe we can learn to not spend money in the places that gives them the most help. You know, get your money out of your savings accounts. You know, leave $200 in there so you can use it. Or put your money into gold and silver, even oil, any commodity, I don't care, silver.
What about Bitcoin?
Corn?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin? Yeah, be careful with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's a good emergency currency. Just be careful with anything electronic, I think. But any commodity, but you know, everything else, 401ks, that's where they make all their money. The Federal Reserve, all these banking cartels make all their money off of our stupidity. So is it their fault or our fault? I mean, I think it's both, right? And just keep in mind that it's the government. The government is not there to protect you. The government is there to enforce the policies of the corporations. And it's that simple. So if the corporations want to make money off you, they make sure the government enforce those policies. In California, we're forced to buy insurance. And now Obamacare is forcing every American to buy health insurance. This is a corporate monetary takeover of this country, which has already happened. I mean, it's not is happening, it has already happened. So this Christmas, buy only that stuff that you need. Buy only the stuff that you're insured is not only going to be spent and used directly by you, it'll create less waste. Maybe even try to buy US as much as possible. You know? I mean, I tell people, don't shop at Target, don't shop at Winco. I mean, I know all of us do, but just do it as least as possible. You know, shop somewhere sustainable. You have to work it out for yourself, but don't give money to Wells Fargo, I know that much. Don't give money to US Bank and Chase Manhattan, and, you know, don't do your investments through Goldman Sachs by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it's a real shame. And when we come up and think about Christmas, I think about family, and, you know, but at the same time, I also want to think about my country too. So,
why did you sacrifice your time to come out here, and is it worth it?
Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, ultimately, I want to talk to people about the Federal Reserve. I want to talk to people about why their dollar isn't actually going anywhere. In fact, it's going less. And you know what? I actually do meet really good people out here, and I believe our word is getting out there. And then through these YouTubes, through the various mechanisms where we're out in the community, it is ultimately worth it. And my kids will be able to look at these videos later, and I can actually look them in the face. I can look them in the face, and I can say, you know, I was out there trying to work for you to make your future better. Because the one thing that you got to ask yourself, you out there in video land, is what did you do when your kids come to you and you say, Mommy or Daddy, what did you do to prevent my money from not being worth anything? What are you going to tell them? What are you going to tell your own kids?
Well, that has alibi written all over it.
I know what I'm going to tell mine, so that's all I have to say.
They want a new world, so they first need to destroy the old world economically, destroy the old world socially, destroy the old world morally, to get everybody to not care, so that many people will think and expect and hope.
But again, it's up to you to look in the mirror to make the change. The change starts with you. The change does not start with your bank account, but maybe it does. Take your money out of the bank. Switch your money over to gold and silver. Heck, even look at Bitcoin, a non-centralized banking system.